All right, let's work through the following example. We are going to solve the following triangle. Everything has sort of been diagrammed out for us. Now, with that in mind, first thing I want to do is copy down my final answer. 3 side lengths, 3 angles, and we'll make a decision about where to go from here. Now, first thing I notice is that alpha is the only angle that's labeled, and A and C are the 2 sides that are labeled, meaning that the third side, that's got to be B. Now, across from side B should be angle beta. Now, across from side C, this should be angle gamma. Once everything is labeled appropriately, then we can start making decisions about what to do. So first question to ask, do we have exactly 2 angles? And the answer is, yeah, we do. In fact, if we were to consider which case we're looking at here, in order we're passing through an angle, followed by an angle, followed by a side. Now, given that we have 2 angles, we should find the third angle. And the way that we find the third angle is that alpha plus beta plus gamma is 180 degrees. We'll plug in the values that we have for gamma and beta. So that'll be 30 degrees plus 125 degrees. Altogether, that's supposed to be 180. Or combining like terms, we get 155 degrees. Subtracting 155 degrees from both sides gives us a total of alpha is equal to 25 degrees. We'll go ahead and label that as part of our final answer, 25 degrees. Now we run through the questions again. Do we have exactly 2 angles? The answer is no, we have all 3 of them now. Next question, do we have a corresponding angle side pair? And in this case, yes we do, because we have a full filled in piece of information from left to right. So we are going to use the law of sines. Now with that in mind, I definitely want to use sine of beta over b. Now, if I'm interested in finding a, I would use the version of the law of sines with alpha and a. We can find a. So filling in the quantities that we know, this will be the sine of 30 degrees divided by b is equal to the sine of 25 degrees divided by a, which we don't currently know. To solve this, we can cross multiply. A times the sine of 30 degrees is equal to 10 times the sine of 25 degrees. And for a final answer for a, we'll divide both sides by the sine of 30 degrees, and we will get a is equal to 10 times the sine of 25 degrees divided by the sine of 30 degrees. Now, if you're looking for an exact form of your final answer, that would be it. Otherwise, we can use our calculator to approximate the answer. We'll check, make sure the calculator is in degree mode. It is. That's good to see. So 10 times the sine of 25 degrees divided by the sine of 30 degrees. This would be our approximate answer. Now, I like to round my final answers to the second decimal place, but in the event that we need to use it for an additional calculation, we'll include a couple extra places. In the meantime, though, we can label side A as being 8.45. Now, the good news is we don't need to reuse A as part of our process because we could just reuse the law of sines to figure out the value of C. Now, once again, because we know beta and B, we'll make use of sine of beta over B is equal to, this time we'll use the form with gamma and C. So sine of gamma over C. This leads us to, like we saw for the previous one, sine of 30 degrees over 10 is equal to, this one will be the sine of 125 degrees divided by C. At which point, similar to the algebra we just did, we can cross multiply and get C times the sine of 30 degrees is equal to 10 times the sine of 125 degrees. Dividing by the sine of 30 degrees will get us to our final answer, 10 times the sine of 125 degrees, all over the sine of 30 degrees. which again, if we're interested in approximating, which I am, you'll notice that there's not a whole lot that needs to change in our previous result. In fact, if we just insert a 1 to our previous result, that was the insert feature. Second followed by the delete button will allow you to insert something. Pressing enter gives us our final answer, 16.38 with what we'll call an insignificant 30 after that. Rounding at the second decimal place, this will be 16.38. And that, of course, would be our final answer.